أن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليما كثيرا أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Today is the first Jummah of 2023. 2023. January 6, 2023. But the important date for us is the 12th day of Jumada Athani, 1444. 1,444 years after the hijrah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca to Al-Medina gave us this date under the ishraf and the supervision of the wali from the awliya of Allah, Al-Faruq, Umar radiyallahu anhu. It was under his supervision and it was with the ijma' and the ittifaq of the companions. So for the Muslim, today being the 12th of Jumada Athaniya, the 12th, 1444 is more important. As it relates to being January 6, 2023, that has some significance in our lives, but in reality, it's another one of those points that we have to take it as a teaching moment. This is the Gregorian calendar that we go by, named after Pope Gregory XIII, who, when Christianity was spreading, he played with the calendar. And he made this calendar that we're following January 2023, so as to keep the summer solstice, to keep it close to Easter. It's just tala'ub. It's just playing with kufr and shirk. That's all it is. That's what's behind it. Now, I don't want to get too deep and I don't want to get too heavy, but in this is some issues. We have to peel it back. Before Pope Gregory the 12th, the 13th, there was Julius Caesar, who had his calendar. And that was the calendar that they were using prior to that. And then Pope Gregory came and gave the people this calendar. Everything about this calendar is kufr and shirk. January, February, that's the reality. Just go to the internet and read it. I'm going to tell you as I stand here, when it comes to the religion, there are no people more astray than Christians. And I don't mean that in like a negative way to make ihana of them. The Christians, they don't have qawa'id that they follow in their religion. They do whatever feels good to them. It doesn't have to make sense. And that's why when you give them dawah, you have to be patient with them, because many of them are just moving based upon emotions, moving based upon ignorance, and sometimes and many times moving based upon white supremacy even. The Jews, on the other hand, have more knowledge. This is not Abu Usamah coming up with this. This is the statement, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. The Christians are dalun. They do whatever they want to do. If they want to say a woman is a prophet, they'll say that. If they want to say God is white, they'll say that. Whatever they want to say. They don't feel they have to practice their religion. Now, the danger about that are many. One of the dangers is we're going to follow the Christians and the Jews and everything that they've done. So there's the Muslim who, he doesn't care. It doesn't have to make sense. It can go against his aql, but he's still going to do it because everybody else is doing it. Or he doesn't want to make trouble. The point is, I'm not trying to get too deep here. It's a teaching moment. 2023, kufrun and shirk. In our religion, the kuffar of Quraysh, they did the same thing that Pope Gregory did. They did the same thing that Julius Caesar did. They play with the time. But in al-Islam, Ya Abdullah, the time is the sole property of Allah in our religion. It's not for anybody to play with the time. You know, we make the Tawheed of Allah, Ifradullah, bil ibadah. There are things that are exclusive for Allah. He has names and attributes that are only for Him. Al-Ilah, Al-Khaliq, Al-Mutakabbir. You can't take those names. Only Allah deserves to be worshipped. Only Allah gives tashri', legislation. Only Allah, no one else. From what is exclusive to Allah is the time. The Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inna Allaha huwa dahru, yuqallibu layla wal nahar. Allah is the time. He changes the night into the day. Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard, wa ikhtilaf al-layli wal nahar, la ayatin li ulil albab. And the alteration of the night and the day, the differences and what's going on, all of that, khalq, everything is a sign for people who have intellect, for the labib. That's only for Allah. So the kuffar of Quraysh, you go check it out. Check out the book of Allah. Allah wabbahahum. Allah criticized them. Intaqadahum wabbahahum. He brought this issue that they done in Mecca before the birth of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They knew about Ibrahim. Ibrahim, he had an impact on the Arabs. He had an impact upon the Kaaba. All of those issues, but they got away from that. So in ayat number 37 in Surah At-Tawbah, ayat number 37, go back and check it out. إِنَّمَا النَّسِيءُ زِيَادَةٌ فِي الْكُفْرِ يُضَلُّ بِهِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. That's what Allah said about those kuffar of Quraysh. And Nasi, that was their playing with the time and changing the time as they liked. The same way Caesar did it. The same way Julius Caesar did it. The leap year, the fallback year, that's not for Bani Adam. Just as it is not permissible for anybody, any human being, to make a law, halal or haram. No Muslim, fadlan al-kuffar. It's not permissible. And when Bani Adam dies, and they all stand up for the mahshar, any and everyone who did legislation without what was allowed, you're going to get punished for that. May Allah help us in this condition that we're in. That the least we can do is hate it in our hearts. That if we're forced and compelled to do that which Allah hasn't revealed, we acknowledge it, we recognize it, and we hate it in our hearts. At least, let us not be of the people who their hearts are dead. And as a result of that, we're overwhelmed and overcome by and with ghafla. Don't even think about it. I stand here to say I protest in front of you against this calendar. I'm opposed to this calendar because I know. But am I going to be mutashaddid and I'm going to be rough and tough? I'm not going to be that, because now two wrongs don't make a right. I'm the imam here. I have a responsibility to give a message of benefit, of inspiration. I'm supposed to inform the people. I'm supposed to tell the one who may not have forgotten. Al-mu'min mir'atul mu'min. Ad-dinu nasiha. 3 times. I want to remind you. Yawmul Qiyamah. I want this earth, the malaika, the jinn, your malaika, all of you, anybody who's watching, I protest this calendar and these days of the week in terms of ma wala and ma bara. Ma wala to Islam and the Muslims, and ma bara from kufr and shirk and the kafirin and the mushrikeen and the things that they do. But am I going to tell you that you have to sign your check the 12th of Jamada at Thani, 1444? No. I'm going to tell you on this first khutbah of 2023, from the Gregorian calendar, Pope Gregory, the 13th, the 12th. I'm going to say to you, the message today for the rest of this year that we're living here, inshallah, may Allah give us all life to go through this whole year and extend our lives, inshallah, is the hadith that I've said here many times. هَلَكَ الْمُتَنَطِّعُونَ هَلَكَ الْمُتَنَطِّعُونَ هَلَكَ الْمُتَنَطِّعُونَ. Those people who are mutanatti'un, they will be destroyed. At-tanattu', it means the one who goes too deep. It is al-maut in Arabic. It is maut, is death. It is ghulu, is going overboard. It's shiddan tashaddud, it's just being rough and tough. It is ad-dimar, al-ihlak. It means all of that. That the one who is rough and tough, and he goes overboard, he's going to be destroyed. He's going to die. He won't remain. His shiddah won't remain. He's like that hadith that's weak, but the meaning is true. That the mutashaddid is like the man who gets on his horse and he rides his horse non-stop and he rides it very hard, very fast, and he doesn't slow down. He's going to run that horse into the ground. So he won't be able to save his horse, nor will he be able to arrive at the end of the journey. That's the mutashaddid. And as you people look at me right now, I know and understand that many of you, your minds go to Al-Qaeda. Your minds go to Boko Haram. Your minds go to people like that. And wallahi, they're from the mutashaddideen. They're from the mutashaddideen. The tashaddud, he's a problem because he's going to cause a problem on himself. He won't arrive at the journey, and he's going to cause a problem for those who are around him. He's going to kill his horse. He's going to kill his family. He's going to destroy the community. He's going to be too heavy on the society because he is a tashaddud, mutashaddid. But it's more than that. A tashaddud is in every single row in this masjid by the Lord of the Kaaba. And we'll come to that, inshallah. But I want to explain to you first, don't be from the mutashaddid. I can't be from the mutashaddideen. A shiddah in its wrong place. Some of the ulama of Islam said this hadith, halak al-mutanatti'un, is a dua that Rasulullah is asking Allah to destroy the mutashaddid, the khawarij. The one is rough and tough with his wife, with his child, the imam, the administration, the boss, just rough and tough. It's as if the Nabi is making dua. And some of the scholars said, no, he's just telling us, al-khabr, al-ikhbar, that if you are rough and tough, there's going to be zawal. You're not going to remain. You won't have any athar. Your athar are going to be, you're going to lose it. Those people say it's dua. They take that hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. قال اللهم من ولي من أمر أمتي شيئا فشق عليهم فأشقق عليه. Dua, Nabawi. Oh Allah, any person, man or woman, any person who takes responsibility for the affairs of my ummah and he's rough on them, then oh Allah, be rough on him. Al-jaza min jins al-amal. He has a wife, he is over her tough. He's responsible for her affairs. Her father gave her to him as an amana. The masjid gave her to him. The ummah married him to her as an amana. And he's shadeed. That's that example. So some of the scholars said it's a dua. And no one wants to come, and the Nabi of Islam made dua against him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some of the scholars said it's khabar, it's ikhbar. He's telling us that if you're rough and tough, you're going to be destroyed. Rough and tough on yourself and you never rest. And you work like a dog, akramakum Allah. You're going to destroy yourself. How is it a khabar? قال صلى الله عليه وسلم إياكم والغلو فإنما أهلك من كان قبلكم الغلو في الدين. Beware of going overboard in your religion. For verily the people went before you, the Jews and the Christians, they were destroyed because they went overboard in their deen. What did they do? They made it haram to get married. They made it haram to eat this and to drink that. They made it haram, haram, haram. Everything was haram. They went to extreme. So they made things difficult for themselves, and they made things difficult for the people. So as it relates to this 2023, I am not telling you that you have to go in this society and tell people, I'm free from you and I'm free from this calendar. I'm telling you, in this room in front of you, أنا أتبرأ من هؤلاء. I'm free of that calendar of kufr and shirk, and I raise high the calendar of the hijrah. And I ask you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which one do you choose? And which one would you prefer? The calendar of Umar radiyallahu anhu with the ijma and the ittifaq of those awliya from the companions, radwanullah alayhim, or what was given us to us by the fasaqa, fajara, mujrimun. Mujrimun. You think these priests today are a problem with how they behave with children? For those people in the past, hadith wala haraj. Hadith wala haraj. On another level of fisq and fujur. So I'm going to take the calendar of al-Islam, and I'm going to do my best, because I'm like most of you. I'm not from the Malaik up here flying, hanging out with Jibril and Mikael. I'm not that guy. I had to go back to see what day it was in the Hijri calendar, because I don't know. I didn't know it was Jamad al-Thani. I don't exist every day knowing it's Jamad al-Thani and Ulad. I don't know that. But I have to do a better job. We have to do a better job. It's part of al-wala wa bara. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be rough with you and tough with you and say you're a bad Muslim because you don't know the 12 months of al-Islam. But I will say we have to have some kind of light on in our spirit and our minds that al-Islam is the truth. And we may be having taqsir and we're falling short here and there. But once we're reminded, we get on the program. Now, as it relates to the manifestation of the mutashaddideen, وَكَثِيرُ مَهُمْ, don't let your dhihn, don't let your mind go to Boko Haram like that. No, we have mutashaddidun in the first row, the second row, the third row, the fourth row, and most of the masajid, except those that Allah divinely protected. Look at the mutashaddideen. Because this thing has its idhar, its ibraz, it's manifested so many ways in our community with regular people. From the mutashaddideen is the one who has ghulu, the mutanattu'. Go too deep. الذي يعمل ما لم يعمره الله به يتكلف. Allah didn't tell him to do that, but he does it. For an example, the one who always is saying, wallahi, 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 I ate it. Wallahi, I went. Wallahi, I saw it. Wallahi, we're going to do it. Wallahi, ma kallafak Allah bi that. He didn't tell you to do that. Allah prohibited that. وَلَا تُطِعْ كُلَّ حَلَّافٍ مَهِينٍ. Ya Muhammad, don't listen to, don't obey, don't give your ears to the one who is always swearing. Sigha mubalagha. Wallahi, wallahi. He thinks that's religious. That's not religious. The salaf of this ummah, the companions, they used to hit the children for saying wallahi all the time, wallahi about everything. We're not like that. You're going too deep. That's a tanattur. From a tanattur as well, and there are a lot of things. Are those brothers from amongst us, everything is the New World Order. Everything is the Illuminati. Everything is, it is a plan, it's a plot. I'm talking about every minute of his woken day, it's about conspiracies. It's a conspiracy. We only could get this many people in the first row. It's a conspiracy that the carpet is this color. It's a conspiracy. Everything. First of all, we believe in conspiracies. We believe in the Illuminati. That stuff is real. We believe in the world order, New World Order. That's in the Quran. We believe in this. إِنَّهُمْ يَكِيدُونَ لَكَ كَيْدًا وَأَكِيدُ كَيْدًا. Ya Muhammad, they are trying to make plans and plots against you. وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They plan, they plot. They're plotting against this religion. But, ya akhi, I woke up Fajr, and I'm here right now. Every minute I meet someone, plot, plot, Illuminati, Illuminati, Illuminati. And doing that COVID was the worst. Got in our central nervous system with that. Was that real? Could have been real, may not have been real, but there are many things during the course of the day we can talk about and deal with. I'm talking about the one who makes a ta'ammuq too deep. A ta'ammuq is just not Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, Al-Shabab. It's not just that. The Prophet says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Inna Allah yubghidu al-rajul alladhi yatakhallalu bilisanihi kama tatakhallal al-baqara. Allah hates the man. يَتَخَلَّلُ بِلِسَانِهِ. When he speaks, he tries to be extraordinarily intelligent with his kalam. He tries to speak in a way where the people say, whoa. In Arabic, this happens a lot. The imam gets on the minbar and he gives a khutbah, and in it is a takalluf. Every end of the last word, he's rhyming with the word. He keeps ending with a saja. Ya akhi, Allah didn't make you responsible. He wants to show the people he's fasih. That's in the Arabic culture. But it's in our culture as well. People, we're talking to people, just regular awam. And the way the person talks, he's loquacious. He uses words like that. Loquacious is the one who tries to go overboard and trying to sound really intelligent. Rasulullah said, he yatakhallalu bilisanihi. He moves his tongue around the way the cow moves his tongue around. And Allah doesn't love him. Because that's a ta'ammuq. Halak al-mutanatti'un. That is a form of it. Does that mean that al-Islam is saying not to speak intelligently? No. It means don't make a takalluf. Don't go out of your way to do something. I'll give you another one. And this is really dangerous, Uthman. I'm always calling you Uthman because I got love for you and you were from our Shabbat. You young brothers, Uthman, and you young brothers, but it's just not you. It's our brothers, especially the Shabab, especially these millennials, these Generation X kids, where the internet has given them the freedom to say whatever they want to say in the deen or about the deen. Abdullah bin Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, would hear a question being posed by the Sayyid al-Mursaleen and the Sayyid of the Abna of Adam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He'll ask the community, what do you think about this, 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 this? And the people will start giving their answer. Abdullah bin Umar, one of the 6 companions who narrated the majority of the hadith, he was a scholar. When he saw his father, Umar, quiet, and he saw Abu Bakr quiet, the 2 shaykhain, he said, I was shy. كنت أستحي أن أتكلم أمامهما. I was shy to talk in front of them. Our children don't even have that respect or the haiba. Hey, you can talk, but you have to have adab. It's a time, it's a place. He has to learn how to read the robe. So from our Shabab are those people who go overboard and they are having this uqda. They are consumed with the takfir of the hukam. The takfir of the hukam. Kuffar. They're kuffar. They're kuffar. Everything. Kuffar. This ruler. That ruler. Kuffar. And what I'm talking about is every moment of the woken day for him is the kuffar, the hukam. Ya akhi, nobody has a problem with making takfir of anyone. Of anyone. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ مَا كَلَّفَكَ بِهَذَا. Allah didn't make that your job. Allah didn't make that your job. To go around identifying from our community who's a kafir because he doesn't pray. Who's a kafir because she doesn't wear hijab. Who's a kafir because he doesn't judge by what Allah revealed. Whether you like it or you don't like it. Radit or abait. Whether you like it or not. You know who our wali amrina. You know who he is? His name is King Charles. We're in the UK under the authority of a non-Muslim. What are you doing here talking about that ruler kafir, 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 kafir? If anything, we need to get busy right here trying to change our environment with what's been legislated. Wallahi, I find it really disturbing how the young man, he wants to practice his religion. I understand that. I understand that. But 2 wrongs don't make a right. Everything, you can't tolerate him. La yutahammal. You can't tolerate him. We come to eat. This is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about to everyone he meets. هَلَكَ الْمُتَنَطِّعُونَ يَا أُمَّةِ الْإِسْلَامِ. The people who go too deep, they will be destroyed. There's going to be dimar. There's going to be a destruction because you're going to destroy yourself or you're going to destroy the people around. In addition to that, the one who swears and he curses all the time, coming up in this environment or even in a religious environment, you go to the Arab world, to the Muslim world, you'll find Muslims who swear and curse. They describe the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they said he ma kana fahishan wala mutafahisha. He didn't use lewd words. He didn't express himself like that. That's a sign of bad akhlaq. That's a sign bad adab. The one who is swearing like a sailor, and that's what they say in America. Swears like a sailor because the sailor yudrab bihi al-mathal. He's the one who talks like that. People in the army, that nasty, filthy kalam. So when you're around those people and that's your environment, at-tuyur ala ashkariha, you birds of a feather. But the Muslim is the one, he has to make jihad. I'm not saying it's okay to curse at all. You shouldn't curse. We shouldn't curse at all. But what about the person, every third word out of his mouth are those words? Every third word out of his mouth. And wallahi, billahi, tallahi, ride some of the public transportation in this country and look at the Muslim kids after school, going to school, but especially after school when they let them out of the zoo, when they come out of the zoo and they get on the bus. You have to listen to the words of the Muslims. So today's message, stay in the middle. The Sirat al-Mustaqim in all of our affairs. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ونسأل الله تعالى التوفيق والسداد. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا وطيبا مباركا فيه. When I describe the madaris as the zoo, I think that's mujawazatul hadd. Shouldn't describe it as the zoo. So I want to take that description back. And definitely I didn't mean that the children are hayawanat. I didn't mean that. It's just that these schools are a problem. You want to destroy your kid? Send him to the public school. You want to destroy your daughters, your kids? Send them to the public school. But that's what we're dealing with. So with those realities, what does it look like me busying myself with those things? Allah ma kallafani biha. He didn't make that my responsibility. So let's stay balanced and let's stay in the middle, inshallah, and don't go overboard. You start practicing the religion, relax, take it easy, and be gentle and be easy with the people. This masjid, the idara, we became responsible for the affairs of the people. If we are rough and tough with the people, the Nabi made dua against us. The Nabi made dua against you as the dad, as the husband, as the one who is responsible for your job. May Allah Azza wa Jal make it easy for us and easy for you. And may Allah Ta'ala don't cause us to have people who are ashiddah, those people rough and tough over us. And may He bless us with rahmah and ra'fa that we can deal with the community and His creation in that kind of a way. Aqim as-salat yarhamakumullah.